We begin our report with unrest on college campuses and college administrators struggling to maintain safety. At the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, police removed protesters using pepper spray after they took down the school's American flag and replaced it with a Palestinian one. The school says 36 protesters were detained, including 13 current students. At Columbia University, which sparked many of the protests elsewhere, the school says it will now expel any student who stormed a campus building Tuesday morning. Protesters broke into Hamilton Hall and then locked the doors from the inside. New York City Mayor Eric Adams and the NYPD gave an update Tuesday evening.
We should have been a peaceful protest. It has basically been co-opted by professional outside agitators.
We are talking about private property. So decisions on what to do on that property are up to the university. With that being said, what we saw last night and into today is not acceptable.
Though protests at Brown, Yale, and Johns Hopkins have receded or ended altogether, dozens of people were arrested Monday and Tuesday during college campus protests across the nation, including in Texas, Utah, Virginia, and Georgia. CBS News reporter Haley Ott has been on the ground following the story from Columbia University and joins us now. Haley, what were the biggest concerns among the people you've spoken to, both students and any outside protesters you might have talked to?
Hi, John. Yeah, so I've been here speaking to people all day, and what's important to say up top is that I haven't been able to get on campus today. Usually the media has been allowed in. We haven't been today. The gates have been closed. So the people that I've spoken to have been people like the ones that you may be able to see behind me, protesters. Some of those are students. Some of those are outside groups. I've also spoken to faculty, staff, students who live on campus who aren't affiliated with the protests at all. And what I found really interesting was that when I asked everybody who I spoke to for the most part today what they thought the main thing that the news should express and that people were missing about these protests, a lot of them responded saying that it was the distinction between anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism. A lot of people told me that they felt that there was a big misunderstanding between those two terms. They said that anti-Zionism was a political ideology. It was them rejecting the state of Israel and its practices and policies. And they said that anti-Semitism was prejudice against the Jewish people, which they did not support.
Central question in this, of course, being whether people who are Jewish feel a sense of threat, regardless of the distinction being made. Have you, in terms of those security measures you mentioned, what else is going on? They're not letting non-students in. Any other extra security measures?
And it's also important to stress, just to your point, that people who would have felt unsafe on campus today didn't come here today, so they wouldn't have been here for me to speak to. They've closed down campus. That's the main security measure that they've taken today. Behind me, past this group of protesters, you won't be able to see it here, there's an airport-style security setup where students are waiting in line, faculty, staff with their IDs. They can buzz them on a buzzer, and if they've been pre-approved to enter campus, they're allowed in. If not, if their work isn't deemed essential, then they're turned away. Many people were turned away today. Professors, people trying to go to the library. The people who were able to get in were pretty much only people who lived in dorms on campus.
And Haley, did you talk to any of them about why this is the place where they want to do the protesting, as opposed to, say, in other eras of protest in America, students have gone down to Washington to, go to the White House or have held rallies at the Pentagon. Anything about that?
Yeah, you'd think if you want to change government policy, you'd go to where government is. And I asked people, why haven't you gone to Washington? Do you plan to go protest in Washington? And pretty much all the student protesters that I spoke to said that they feel like this is their community. They've spent a huge amount of money on tuition here. It's important to them that that tuition is invested in things that they believe in and not invested in things that they don't. They said that they also feel like they don't really want to be involved in electoral politics at all, but their protests here are influencing national policy, and they were happy about that.
Haley Ott for us at Columbia University. Thank you so much, Haley.